Good afternoon, everyone. Got some questions and answering. I know, same shirt, same hat. I'm cutting both of these, yesterday's and today's video, at the same time. For personal reasons. I got stuff outside that I said we got to get done. Landscaping, digging up dead stuff, getting it out of here. Sue's off on her ladies' luncheon day. So when she's gone, I like to take advantage while she's gone and get this stuff out of the way. Question and answers, please, on the comments down below. I'm doing the best I can do on these questions and answers. I don't say that I know everything about everything. I don't. I know a little about everything, and I'm going to provide you with the little information that I know. Sometimes I can give you a phone number and point you a direction that will help you. But in the meantime, I'll just tell you what I can tell you. Helen and Jerry. Now, I didn't go over there on that villa that you're interested in because we've had a lot of things to do here. But I looked at many pictures of it on a couple different websites. I even went to Google and got the satellite picture of it and was looking at it from a street view and from above the home. It looks like a nice place. I don't know why it's been on the market since September. But I will say, in almost every case that I know of, now I haven't seen the inside of this house, other than what the villages posts on there. And with those pictures, it's kind of hard to really, see textures and things like that. But from what I've seen of the inside of the house, it looks in pretty good shape to me. But I don't know. I didn't walk in it. But around here, houses sell quick because the baby boomers are retiring. I don't even think we've got to the peak yet. We might have. But, they sell houses down here in sometimes in hours. It'll go up for sale Monday morning. It'll be sold by lunchtime Monday. If a house like this has been on the market since September, I think you said, in almost every case that I know of, it's always because of price. I don't know about a neighbor. I haven't been over there. I don't know about sinkholes. See, that's another thing that has to come up on a disclosure. If your neighbor had a sinkhole on their property, any property that touches that property has to come up on a disclosure that has been, there has been a sinkhole, that's in that area that's touched that property. And that scares the shit out of a lot of people. They don't want anything to do with it. So that could be an issue. I don't know. But ask your salesperson, whoever you're doing business with, about things like that. Has there been a sinkhole anywhere in that area? I did see on the Google thing where TD and Pool has a business. It looked like it kind of butted up against the property. I don't know. On the backside, all the courtyards have a brick wall that'll go back there in the back. It'll separate you, I think, from TD&T Pool. But there could be a noise issue there. The trucks going in, trucks going out. I don't know that either. But I'm just going by what I saw on the Google map. I would bring that up to the real estate guy. But you're coming down, I think you said in the last of March, if I remember right, for a lifestyle visit. Well, that's your first visit. Hit it. Get your real estate guy to go over there. If the house gets sold, don't freak out. There's 1,000 courtyard villas for sale. It's like a car. Don't ever fall in love with something that can't love you back. And that's a house and that's a car. Just move on. There's other houses, other cars. Here's one issue that I will tell you that is kind of a problem, kind of not. It's something to think about. It could be a problem there. I don't know. That sometimes a pre-owned home will actually cost you more money than a brand new one. I know that sounds ridiculous, but that's what happened in my situation. I wanted to stay in the Sumter County area. Well, not Sumter County. Jeez, my mind. I wanted to stay in the Lake Sumter area. We had a house in Caroline. We like Lake Sumter, and we still do. It gets crowded up there in the wintertime, extremely crowded. But all in all, we get 9 months out of the year, roughly, sometimes 8, but mostly 9 months out of the year where it's back to normal. And Lake Sumter's got a lot of good shopping, a lot of nice restaurants. It's more of an open area. You got the lake, you got the boat rides, you got all this stuff up there that I like it. Not to say I don't like Brownwood. I like Brownwood, but it's just different. So anyway, the thing is that, say I had a patio villa up there that was probably, I don't even want to say how old it was when I sold it. I don't really know. But I'm going to say when I sold it, it was probably 10, 12 years old. I sold it for, I sold it, gosh, 4 years ago before I bought this place. I sold it for $180, empty. I didn't sell it furnished because we needed the furniture to go in our new house. We wanted to stay in the area to buy a 3-bedroom house of some kind, and there's different kinds, and I like them all. They all got their good and bad points. Up there at that time was going to cost us around $260 to $275, $285, and not that I wasn't willing to pay that, but a lot of these houses we're looking at for $275 and $285 were, they needed the carpet changed. They needed completely painted on the inside, or the cabinetry was older style cabinetry that I just didn't care for. And that's, you know, serious money. Or the countertops. The countertops could have the older Florida collars in them that I just don't like. The light blues, the light pink. That is, I don't like it. So when you look at that, you're looking at a house, it's like, geez, to redo this kitchen is going to cost us 20 grand. So I got $265 in a house. Time to do that and the carpeting or whatever kind of flooring you put. I mean, it just got, the price I thought was just way too much. So our realtor that we had, she said, have you ever considered a brand new house? And I thought, well, if I can't afford a pre-owned, I probably can't afford a brand new one. Wrong. We come down here and I buy a brand new house, which is a 3-bedroom, and it's not the biggest thing in the world. It's 1,600 square feet, but we're happy here. It's fine. We're in a really great neighborhood. I couldn't ask for almost better neighbors anywhere, and I'm losing one great one, but I think I'm getting another good one. Yeah, we bought this house for $221. And I know the prices here has already went way up because I know several people that sold their houses here. Why they go up the way they go up, I'm not real sure. I think it's because when they're brand new neighborhoods, people can't, it's just like Finney. Right now they're selling houses in Finney, most of them at a really good rate compared to everywhere else in the village, just because it's a new area. So they have to entice people to come down and buy there. So best way to entice people is money. Well, those prices are going to start to go up, and they may have already. I don't think so because they haven't got much else down there. But they have areas already set aside for shopping, grocery stores, who knows what else is going to go in them shopping centers, restaurants, could be maybe a movie theater go down there. They've still not really announced a square. I've talked to Jennifer Parr's office personally, and I know exactly what she told me about it. And here's exactly what they said about the square. So if anybody else was telling you they know where a square is going to be, they don't. Jennifer Parr's office told me the people in Finney and the area down there are going to enjoy the same amenities that they enjoy throughout the villages. There will be an area of music, and they will have their golf and they will have their shopping. It's all a process. That's what they said. She never said a square. Notice that. She said there will be an area of music. And when I tried to pinpoint her about that, I said, does that mean there definitely will be a square, like a Finney Square or a Southern Oak Square? And if there is, what's going to be the name of it? There may not be a square like the rest of the villages knows of a square. It could be a redesign. That's still on the table. Nothing definitely has been decided yet. Now that's straight from Jennifer Parr's office, so what can I tell you? So anyway, if they're asking $299 for that villa, and it's a used villa, and if the upgrades wasn't done professionally, and basically perfectly. They can go down to Finney and buy a 3-bedroom villa, a courtyard villa like what you're talking about, brand new with a warranty on the house, warranty on everything in the house, for the same price. And that's could be the issue right there. I don't know that, but it's something you need to check out when you're here. Check out the new ones, check out that one, and then that'll tell you a lot. I think I went too long on that one. Gene S. Savagilo. A difference in FrameBill versus a hammock or an at-ease home. Well, I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. A frame-built home is a home, a stick-built home, a home built with 2x4s, wood, 2x6s. Most, well, all of them, I think. All the stick-built homes here are vinyl sided, or they have some type of siding like that. Now, in newer areas, you're seeing a lot of fiberglass type siding or cement board sidings to make it look like clapboard siding, like from a beach property, and those are great. But yeah, they'll have some kind of siding like that. I don't know what a hammock or an at-ease home is. I don't know all these homes. They change the names on them from one area to another, and I don't know which ones are stucco and which ones are stick built. So that's all. I can't help you. That's all you need to know, really, is if a hammock or an at-ease home, is that a stucco home? Because if it's a stucco home, then it's not a frame-built home, or what you're calling a frame-built home, what I call stick-built. So I really can't help you there. A frame-built home is a stick-built home, and I don't know what a hammock or an at-ease home is. Chick, I think it's Sid, or Chick or Chuck. Chick G wants veterinarian recommendations. Well, there's a lot of vets around here, and I can only tell you the one we use. You might find, I don't know where you're going to live. I wanted a vet that's fairly close to my house, so I ended up going to Buffalo Ridge Animal Hospital. It's at Pinellas Plaza. I think Buffalo Ridge Animal Hospital has a place in each square, well, around the square. There's one here, there's one up at Southern Trace Shopping Plaza, and I'm thinking there's one up around Spanish Springs somewhere, and I don't know exactly where it is. They have a 24-hour emergency clinic. They have literally everything you can imagine, from x-ray machines to, it's like an animal hospital is what it is. They're a little pricey. For example, we just took our dog in and had her updated shots. Oh, vet. Yeah, to give you an idea what it costs to take our dog over there, actually my wife's dog, it's not my dog. This dog hates me. I don't know why I spend all this money on this dog. But anyway, it's Buffalo Ridge Animal Hospital. We go to one at Pinellas Plaza. Their phone number is 350-350-5786 if you want to call them and ask a question or something. They also have a website. I guess it's a website. No, it's an email address. That's what it is. This is all small cap email. BRAHVET@yahoo.com. So, it says right on here, okay. Has all the information for our dog, but you're interested in price. We had a senior exam. Our dog's older. She's almost 12 years old. And the senior exam was $43. Rabies vaccine for, it said 3-year canine. I don't know if that means it's good for 3 years or what that means, but it says rabies vaccine, 3-year canine, $32. Biohazard, OSHA compliance fee. I don't know. Maybe she pooped in her office and they had to clean it up. That's $4. Bordetella vaccine, $20. So her office fee for that day was $99, $100 for all that. Is that a good price, bad price? I really don't know. It's just the price we have to pay, so we just pay it, move on. So, hope that helps you out a little bit with the information. JP, I'm going to use that. They said that they don't want any repercussions if they become a resident. JP, there ain't no repercussions. These are old people here. They talk a lot, you know, but most of people here, they're fine. They're not nuts. There's just one or two goofy people around, but other than that, you know, you get a Democrat in the crowd, what can I say? She wants to know about, is there going to be a village of fuddy-duddy? I don't know, JP. If there was, I think I'd be the first buyer. I think I'm an old fuddy-duddy. So their favorite hobby is people watching. Well, you want to be somewhere where there's a square within a golf cart ride, because trust me, whether you're scared of the golf cart trails or not, you're going to get one sooner or later. You don't need it. You absolutely don't need a golf cart, but you're going to get one. The square is for you. I go down to squares sometimes, and maybe the music isn't the best in the world, and even if it is, it's crowded. I just get a good viewing area. I'm not a dancer. My wife's a shopper, and I'm a people watcher. I'm like you. I like to sit and I like to watch people, to see how they dress, see how they act, see how they walk, and you know, and just how it's just hilarious sometimes. So yeah, a square is where you want to be. And oh yeah, you're right. There are some people that, I don't know what it is. A certain age, it seems like people lose their sense of humor. I'm an old trucker, and we used to, in the driver's room, doing our log books or whatever we were doing, we talk about a lot of stuff, sure, but we pick on one another too. Rib poking is what we call it. We're always rib poking. And the guys I play golf with on Tuesday, it's not like it's an all-day thing, but yeah, we're always rib poking all the time. You know, like, for example, I played last week with a guy, I won't say his name, but he hit a tee shot and it went in the water, went way to the right and went in the water. We've all done it, right? Many times. And I says, his name wasn't John, but I'm going to say John. I said, gee, John, I've seen a lot of bad shots in my life, but I think that's the worst shot I've ever seen in my whole life. He turned around and he said, well, thanks for the encouragement. I mean, that's kind of stuff we do. Some people, that's not funny. You know, they just turn around and it's like, oh my God. And when they act that way around me, I don't play golf with them anymore. They're off my team. I just ain't gonna put up with it. I don't have to. In life, when you get to a certain age, you cut out the things that either stress you out or makes you unhappy. You just cut it out. You ain't got much life left. You just cut it out. And so if somebody ain't got a sense of humor and they don't like the idea of me joking around, guess what? I ain't playing with you anymore. I don't have to. There's 1,000 people here to play golf with, and I don't need that. Healthcare. You know, JP, that is always an issue. I am with the Village's healthcare system. So I have a Village's Advantage plan and United Healthcare. That comes with it. Well, it don't actually come with it, but that's what you got to get, I think. I think you have to get the healthcare, United Healthcare, to get the Village's Advantage. So far, I'm good with it. I can't tell you a lot about it. I know that I get some dental with it. I've had dental work done, and it's kicked in. I am scheduled for a cleaning, I think, in April. I get 2 free cleanings a year and some other stuff. It actually pays, not a lot, but it pays a lot of things on the Village's Advantage plan that most Medicare plans don't pay at all. But I get like $250 per year. I don't know if that's once a year, once every 5 years. I'm going to play stupid to this, but I do have it for hearing aids or hearing aid services. I also have the dental, like I said. I got something called Silver Sneaker. It's supposed to be something that I can use to go to exercising places that I never go to, but I've got the option. Man, I wish I could tell you more about it. My wife knows more about this than I do. And I can tell you that my doctor office visits are I won't say they're free. I don't pay anything anymore. I haven't paid anything for any other than my medication, and I get a very big discount on that for like blood pressure, cholesterol, you know, the big three. Blood pressure, cholesterol, and heartburn. For men over 50, that's the big three. And I'm happy with it so far. My doctor's Dr. Kelly. He works 3 days a week. Most of these doctors down here in the Villages system, I think, are semi-retired. Most of them come from the northern areas. They live here also, but they keep up their medical practice. The Villages has certain attributes about their system that I like sometimes and don't like other times. One of them is that each doctor has to spend a minimum, I think it's 1/2 hour with each patient to give you as a patient time to explain things or to ask questions or whatever case may be. In most cases, I think that's wonderful. I'm a no bullshit kind of guy. So when I go in and get my checkup and look up my nose and look in my eyes and down my throat and cough here and you know, and the things that they do, put your pants back on, I'm done, give me my paperwork so I can get out of here. Instead of the, well, how you been? How you been eating? Are you drinking enough water? And well, I'd like to see you get on some kind of program to lose an extra 20 pounds. And all this talking, it's like yak, 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 yak. And you know, to me, that just gets in my way most of the time. I want to go. But to somebody that has medical issues, that needs to talk to their doctor, I think it's great that they got that extra time to explain things to them. I don't have any issues, so I just want to get out. But that's just me. Now, if you're under the age of 65, the Villages healthcare system will take other insurance. Now, I had them when I was 62, and I had Blue Cross and Blue Shield, and I had no problem at all. I had co-pays I had to pay with my insurance, but I mean, as far as them taking my insurance, there was no problem. But once I become 65, you have to have the Villages Advantage plan. Or I don't think, well, you can have the military, yeah, you can have a military. There might be one other one too, and I can't remember. When you get down here, just talk to them. They can, you're a doctor, you'll understand this a lot more than me, and they'll explain things to you. And then I guess you just have to decide. That's what the rest of us had to do. And where do I fit in at age 68? JP, you don't fit in nowhere. You know why? Because I've read a little bit about you. You're too smart. I mean, you are really smart for being down here. I know what you did for a living, so you could probably hang a shingle out here and have them lined up at your front door. But anywhere, really, JP, you can fit in anywhere. My gosh, I'm 60. How old am I? I was born in 52. I guess I'll be 66 this coming May. Right? Does that seem right? Whew. Yeah, I think I'll be 66 this coming May, and I fit in fine. I don't think I do not fit in fine. Donnie next door is in his, I believe, his early or mid 70s, and he hasn't bought a new house yet. I got a feeling they're leaning toward Finney. He wanted to play golf down there the other day, and he loved it. Said the golf course kind of reminded him of his hometown in New Orleans area. So I got a feeling that's where they're going to go. I can be honest with you, I hate to lose him as a neighbor. He's a great neighbor, but it is what it is. 68, well, you fit in anywhere. Now, if you go way up north in the older areas, that's where you generally find the older people, but they're in a transitional stage right now, that whole area up there. The older people are moving on, and the younger people being the younger retired people, are coming down and they're buying those houses. So the older areas up there are actually becoming a younger area. But if you're wanting to buy a brand new house, you're going to have to go to Finney anyway. There is no brand new houses left over here. If you want to buy a pre-owned, you got your choice. Like I've said before, Know what it is you want to do. I mean, as far as activities, I know you golf. I got that. And know what it is that you want to be really close to. Do you want to be fairly close to a square? You're a people watcher. I'm going to say you want to be fairly close to a square. Not on top of it, but within a 10 or 15 minute golf cart ride to a square. And probably a rec center, because that's where your neighborhood are going to have all their activities. It's going to be at the rec center. Other than driveway parties and things like that, you're going to go to your local rec center. So that's where you want to be. So, yeah, JP, you'll fit in anywhere. You're fine. Fred, about termite control. Well, Fred, when you buy a brand new house, the first year of termite control is already taken care of for you by the villages. I believe it goes through Massey, Massey. So they take care of the first year. That comes with the purchase of a brand new house. And then after that, Massey will get a hold of you if you like their service. And they will work out a deal with you, and I forget what it's called. I believe it's for 5 years. They'll give you, it's kind of a contractual thing. I don't think you have to sign it for 5 years. It's like year to year. Well, they'll give you a special price for termite treatments and inspections. I think they inspect once or twice a year, and then they treat you for termites. And I'm not sure if there's any other kind of bugs that they treat for as part of that termite inspection or not. That's something you have to discuss with them, because I didn't take it. I do my own. But it's reasonably priced. I think it's like $125 a year or something like that for termites. Here's my problem with all these people that does this kind of work. It starts out where they come out and about termite control, blah, blah, blah. It's $150. Do you want us to treat for ants? Would you like for us to treat for what they call palmetto bugs? In my mind, a palmetto bug is a cockroach, because that's what it looks like to me. Do you want us to treat the outside of the house as well as the inside of the house? Next thing you know, your $150 a year job turns into $600. Don't quote me on these numbers, please. I'm just trying to give you a point. And that's my problem with it. I just don't like playing that game. I'm not a tire kicker. I'm not a walk around the car and let's talk numbers. I'm not that guy. Shoot me your best shot and it's going to be a yes or a no from me, or I'm going to walk away. And once I walk away, don't call me 2 hours from now and tell me about a better deal, because I'm not coming back. That's me. But I do know that they have a pretty good deal. They're very nice. They're very professional. So, you know, I wouldn't worry about it too much. The first 4 foot of a stick-built home is already pressure treated with termite treatments. I couldn't tell you what it is, but it's all pressure treated inside the wood. And then really, if you spray around your house a couple times a year with good stuff, and you're not going to get anything good from Home Depot or Lowe's. You need a commercial grade termite treatment. Your area. Oh, this is Chick Garrison. Again, I think I just answered this about the vet. I should have wrote this stuff down. It says, what is your opinion on buying a bungalow villa in Finney? I'll be looking at buying for myself when I come down. Do you know when golf cart tunnels and bridges will be completed in Finney? I don't know when they're going to be completed. I did a video here about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Look it up. It's updates on the village of Finney for tunnels and bridges, where they're going to be located, and so on and so forth. So, but a date, I don't know. I can tell you what a neighbor told me. They're looking at buying a place down at Finney. And she told me that the salesman, remember what I'm saying here, that a salesman told her that all the bridges and tunnels are to be completed in 18 months from now. Maybe. We'll see. What do I think of a bungalow villa? I don't even know what a bungalow villa is. I don't. I know they got bungalows down there. They've got cottage homes. And they've got a new villa that they just announced here a couple weeks ago. It's going to be called a veranda villa, which is basically a courtyard with a veranda on the back. A bungalow villa. That's a new one. I don't know. I don't know. I've never heard of it. They have patio villas, they have courtyard villas, and now they got a new one called a veranda villa. I do know that they were going to introduce a couple new styles of villas down there, and this could be one of them, but I don't know nothing about it. It doesn't really make any difference what I think of them anyway, truthfully. It's all about what you want, and it's your retirement, and it's your home. And if you're comfortable with it, I mean, we had a patio villa for many years because I was still working. My wife came down a lot. And it was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. Not a lot of square footage, but it was like 1164-ish. It was a colony villa, patio villa. Suited our needs perfectly for being a part-time person down here. And but it had a 1 car and a golf cart garage. As everybody knows, that's the way they are. And I couldn't live with a 1-car garage. That's just me. So I had to get another place when I went full time. And you might just consider those issues as the garage. The other issue on any villa area that I've seen, some are better and some are worse than others, but is parking. It's an issue. I can tell you down here, parking in the street is not good. People really frown on that. We all know we have neighbors that come down and they visit, and sometimes parking in a driveway and being able to get your car out of the garage or a golf cart out of the garage, it's really, it's a kind of a pain. And so the guests sometimes will park their cars out in the street for a week or so. And, we just let it go. We understand. You got guests. We know in a week or two they'll be gone, so we don't worry about it. But then there's people in some areas that feel like, for some strange reason, they want to park their car in the street all the time. And they live there full time. That's frowned upon. And it's just disrespectful, I think. And it could cause a problem, a rift between you and your neighbors. There are rules about it. They'll argue a point and tell you, no, Sumter County don't have any rules about street parking. Sumter County this. Sumter County don't run this place. Sumter County does have laws. It's all in your deed restriction. That's your law. So before you go parking cars on the street and want to leave them out there for a week or 2 and 3 weeks at a time, which I don't recommend, I check my deed restriction for your area, whatever area you're in. Finney, I think, is District 12, I think. I'm in District, gosh, I can't remember. I think I'm 11 or 10. But you can go to thevillages.net, and there's a whole lot of stuff there on the left that you can click on. And one of those, and I don't remember which one it is, but one of those is deed restrictions and the rules, and you can go down to whatever district you want and click on that. It'll have a whole list, District 1, 2, 3, 4. Click on it and read it. It'll tell you what you can and can't do. Okay, I think I answered his questions. What else we got? Man, I got a lot of stuff here. I don't know this guy. It's a Verizon website. It says, hi Skip, love your videos. I discovered the Villages 25 years ago visiting friends there. My wife and I went back in November of 17. Wow, quite a change after 38 years of working at Verizon. Yes, if you came down here back then when I came down, Spanish Springs was all there was. In some ways it was nicer, in some ways. But yeah, now you've got Sumter, you got Brownwood, on down to Finney, and all that's new to you. So you got a lot of catching up to do, man. My concern is that we have a dog, and not a lot of homes have fenced-in yards. You can't have a fenced-in yard here unless it came that way. And by that I mean when the house was brand new, that fenced-in yard had to be there. Any other type of fenced-in yard has to be approved by ARC. And I use that word strict because it's got to be approved by ARC. If somebody just in a secluded area put a fence in their backyard and it was not approved, you buy that home and then somebody complains about that fence, you're going to foot the bill to take it down. So make sure it's approved. Want to know if there's any kind of homes here other than courtyard villas. Any kind of homes here other than courtyard villas that has a fenced-in backyard? The answer to that is yes. I don't know what they're called, but they are designer homes. Over at Pine Ridge, I think. It's either Pine Ridge or Pine Hills. There's two of them over there, and I get them all mixed up. Pine Hills or Pine Ridge, but one of them were by Osceola Golf Course on the right over here. There's a whole neighborhood of designer homes, and they've got a black, very nice looking black, a dark brown vinyl fencing that goes between the houses and fences into backyards. It's a whole neighborhood of them. I don't know if there's any left, probably not, but there might be a resale there. When you call the Village's real estate company, make sure you mention that to them. You're interested in a designer home with a fenced-in yard. There's some there. I believe that they're building some down in Finney area, neighborhoods of designer homes with fenced-in backyards. So you might question those too. But they are available. You're going to pay a price for it. And ask your realtor. He'll be able to give you all the information you need. If I get over there sometime with my video camera, I'll see if I can't take a nice video of a neighborhood of those designer homes with the fenced-in yards. For a pet owner or something like that, those would be nice. If you have young grandchildren, they're also nice. You can turn the little rugrats loose in the backyard and they can't get out. But other than that, you know, I can't think of anything else other than a courtyard villa. Courtyard villas are available literally everywhere. From the far north to the far south, you can find courtyard villas with fenced-in backyards. It's just, you know, but there are other options, yes. What else? Wait. I had a question about handicap accessibility, I'll put it that way. A person is kind of confined to a wheelchair and they're thinking of coming down to the Villages for retirement and was asking about accessibility. Accessibility is everywhere here. I mean, things that most people don't think about, only maybe because that I've been around here a while and I've seen a lot of things. I can't tell you, I don't know what a person that lives in a wheelchair, I don't know all the ins and outs of the things you need, other than things that my common sense says this should be done. Because you get into the problem of, I don't know what the Villages will do as far as special construction of a house, because they don't really do construction here like they do elsewhere. You can't go in most cases and say, I want to pick out my flooring, I want to pick out the color of my living rooms, I want this room to be gold and I want that room to be blue. They don't do that. But in handicap situations, I'm thinking under the Americans for Disabilities Act, they may have to accommodate certain construction things for you. I would think living in a wheelchair, I would think just off the top of my head, I'm just thinking here, that you would have to have a lower countertop, like in your kitchen. Maybe a shorter stove, if that's possible. A lot of remote control stuff, like maybe the fan above the stove, because you can't hardly reach up there unless you got something to poke the buttons with or something. So a remote control type air thing above the stove. Most of the switches here are not rocker switches, but the wide ones that make it easy to turn them off and on. That's designed for people with arthritis. So you got the big switches that are easy, and in a wheelchair, I think in my house anyway, all the light switches would be easily accessible by you. The showers in a lot of these newer homes south of 466A, you get north of 466A, I don't know that they're there, I don't know if they're not there, but most of the showers down here off the master bedrooms are walk-in showers, or what we called in Indiana Roman showers, and they're wide, and they go in and then they angle a little bit and then they angle again to go into the shower. There's a seat there, and I know that those showers are basically built for wheelchair access, and the handle is right here as you go into the shower. It's before you get to the shower head, so you can turn the water on and you're not going to get wet right away until you roll forward into the shower. So your showers are wheelchair accessible. The doors in the house, I believe all my doors, and I could be wrong here, but I think all my doors in my house are 36-inch doors. So I think that's more than enough room for you to get your wheelchair through the doors. The door that separates the 2 bedrooms and the guest bath on one side of my house is a pocket door. And I know that door is at least 36 inches wide. It's a wide door. In my design house, the only bathroom that could be an issue for a wheelchair might be the guest bath, because I got this hallway that's probably 3 feet wide or so, maybe a little wider, and then you got a door there that's roughly 36 inches, and then you got to turn to go in there. That could be a little bit of an issue. You may even have to go in that room backwards, because the bathroom itself isn't huge, so I'm not sure how much room you'd have in there to actually turn the wheelchair around. But the bathtub itself does have a grab rail. It came with it. That would probably help. But in a wheelchair situation, maybe another grab rail would be nice. But all the town squares, you can ask anybody that's here, all the town squares, literally every corner, every curb, it's just not a little ramp like you see up north. The whole sidewalk area, I mean a huge sidewalk area, gradually slopes down to the road to be flush with the road. You go to the grocery stores, and in front of like Winn-Dixie at Pinellas, where I go all the time, the front sidewalk itself literally slopes down and meets with the road. So it isn't like you got a little wheelchair ramp. You got a huge area to go in and out of the stores. All the doors are very, very wide when they open up. They're all remote controlled or electronically controlled, automatic doors. It'll be 2, 3, or 4 of them will slide back. It's like a wall that goes away. So yeah, all this, and the aisles in the grocery stores are very wide. Not just where one grocery cart can pass another cart. That's even more, it's wider than that. So the grocery stores here is very accessible to you. The restaurants that I've been to at all the different squares, some of them may have an issue, but most of them don't. Most of them usually has several tables that have wheelchair access, and that's for you and people like you. Outside, at the outside eating areas at any of these restaurants or the golf courses, the country clubs, all those have outside seating. And all of them that I've seen many people out there in wheelchairs. And they just move a chair out of the way and wheel right up to the table. They don't seem to have an issue with any of it. We even have golf carts specially made for people in wheelchairs to go play golf. If your golf club, I wish I had a picture of it. Your golf clubs actually lays on the front hood of this golf cart, and the golf clubs are facing you. So you can just reach and pull a club out. The seat you're sitting in swivels around to either side. If you're right-handed or left-handed, it swivels around. You can hit the ball, whatever you got to do, and you just swivel back around, put your golf club up, and move on to your next shot. Those golf carts actually are approved here to be on the green. Only those golf carts can be on the green because they don't cause any damage with them big wide tires. And you can just go up there and just wheel your seat out for one side and putt your ball and move on. I've seen them out there. They're very efficient, they're very good, and I just think it's kind of a neat idea that people that never used to be able to play golf on a regular basis, that they have something special like that to keep them going. So yeah, we're pretty accessible, man. We really are. Come down and check us out. Take a lifestyle preview or something and come down and just check it out. And I think that's going to be it for a while. I think I got everybody. If I didn't, sorry. I'll try to get you next time, but I don't want these things that they're getting stretched out, I think, too long. You know, 35, 40, 45, that's nuts. People don't want to listen to me that long. I'm not that good looking to start with. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here on this kind of a partly cloudy day, but still blue skies, white puffy clouds, a little bit of a breeze. Things are looking good. And I'll try to get this stuff up the best I can. You guys come down here. Somebody says something about looking me up when they come down here. I'm always around somewhere. I could be sitting in front of cows like that one guy found me up there and he stopped talking to me for a while waiting for a haircut. I could be in City Fire drinking a beer with a buddy. I could be at a country club sitting outside after a golf game drinking a beer with those guys. I could be anywhere. So I'll just say thanks for watching. We're over 1,000. It's after February 20th. I'm still on here. I guess I'm okay. I haven't received anything official yet. So thanks for subscribing. I could sure use a whole lot more, but we're doing okay, I think. So until then, I guess I'll just say I'll see you all on the other side.